So in my last video I told you the tale of the shiny Sentret that took me 7 years to find. And the reaction to that video was pretty wild. If you told 15-year-old Lucy that this Sentret hunt would have several news articles written about it in the future, I wouldn't have been able to comprehend it. And also I have to show you guys some of these because they're just too good. A lot of what I said in that video was purposely hyperbolic and sarcastic, but these articles just take quotes from the video that make me look like a nutjob. It's so dramatic, I love it. CandyEvie was not to be denied. Do you reckon I can put these articles on my CV? I never anticipated that my video would get picked up by news sites, but let me tell ya, if they like that story, they ain't seen nothing yet. You think 7 years is a lot for one shiny? Try 12. Right, so I started shiny hunting really young, okay? I was probably 11 when I really started getting into it, but I was 10 when I attempted my first ever shiny hunt. This was 2009, so years and years before shiny hunting was a widespread thing online. And I wasn't gonna go after just anything either. I set my sights on a legendary. I wanted Moltres. So pen and paper in hand, I sat down and so began a chain of events that would lead to the creation of this very channel. So what were the pen and paper for? The tallies. Nowadays, with a nice stream setup, all I have to do is push a button to keep a record of my count. But back then, I worked on paper. I don't have the Moltres tallies anymore, but this is what they looked like. Every 5 encounters is in a circle, every 100 encounters would be coloured in, and every 1000 encounters would be coloured in with a gel pen. Kinda tells you how old I was. I seem to remember I did around 6,000 resets for this hunt. I didn't hit the shiny odds or anything, but for a 10-year-old this was a lot. But eventually I lost patience and I started looking for shinies in other games. But I always had the intention of finding it one day. I remember when I started the Sentret hunt 7 years ago, my game was still saved next to Moltres. Once my long quest had been completed and I finally found Sentret, I realized that there was still something in Fire Red that I needed to do. It was time, but there were preparations I needed to make. I've actually hunted quite a few shiny legendaries in the past, but the thing is I'm a wimp. I usually just master ball them, and that was my very intention this time as well. But I go to check my bag and alas, I must have already used the master ball for this file because it wasn't there. Okay, I can just trade one over from one of my other games. I have 2 Game Boy Advances, so it's all good. Oh, looks like my childhood Game Boy Advance suddenly doesn't work. Okay, it's all good, I'll just order one online. Oh wow, look, I got scammed! This one's broken too! The date I was going to start streaming this hunt was looming, and I didn't have time to order another Game Boy Advance, so I pondered the unponderable. What if I actually try to catch this legendary without a Master Ball? Can it be done? Would I dare take such a risk? I suppose I don't have any other choice. So I don't have much time to raise the perfect team and I can't trade, so we're gonna be working on a budget here. I want something with False Swipe to bring it to 1 HP. You can actually catch decently leveled Marowak with False Swipe in Savault Canyon, so that's 1 down. But I need something to weaken it with. I'm paranoid about getting critical hits, so maybe something with a fixed damage rate. You can find Raticate with Super Fang in the Pokemon Mansion. Might need to train it up a bit though. And I'm gonna want something to put it to sleep. My Lapras has Sing, so I just went with it. 55% accuracy hurts, so Spore would have been much better, but Spore is also kind of Paris and Parasec's signature move in these games, so probably wouldn't have been a good idea there either. Also got a Growlithe for good measure because Moltres' only attacking moves are Fire type and Growlithe will keep me safe with Flash Fire. Once Moltres is at 1 HP and asleep, each Ultra Ball I throw will have a 4.366 chance of catching it. But like shiny hunting, it's all luck based. I could catch it first ball or I could catch it on the 100th ball. We just have one problem. My team is weak. So I did some EV training. Moltres' Flamethrower hurts, so we want to beef up our special defense. Poor Aroma Lady Maya and her duo of Blossom had no choice in the matter as I thrashed them again and again for several hours until my team was at a decent level. Now it's time to do the test capture. I followed the plan. I super fanged it a few times, went for the false swipe and then kept using Sing and throwing balls at it. And it struggled to death. I can still do this, I can still do this. There was one thing I hadn't taken into account. Pressure. Moltres' ability Pressure doubles the PP used by a move, so my Sings were getting used up fast. And if you get unlucky with the accuracy a few times, it can get nasty pretty quickly. I needed to make some adjustments. I used a couple of PP ups and attached a Leopard Berry to my Lapras and tried again. And success! I did it! Still though, it's all very luck based, so I did a couple more. The second one caught first ball. The third one was a success as well, so I decided I was ready. It was time to fulfill my 10-year-old self's dream and find the shiny Moltres. I'm totally radical. Yo, thank you. Oh my god. Oh my life. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I did quite a few test captures prior to starting this hunt. I kind of forgotten a little bit, so I'm still pretty nervous a bit. The Raticate up front has Super Fang, so I'm gonna use that first, but not before I tweet this out. Oh my life, this is a 12-year hunt, guys. This is a freaking 12-year hunt. This is the first shiny I ever hunted, ever. And I actually found it, and pretty quick too. Pretty quick. But look at that, it's pink, and it's nice. And I want it. I can use Super Fang, because that halves it. Oh dude, don't kill me. Don't be like that. So I'm full swiping it. I mean, that works too, if it wants to endure. This is what we do. We just hit first turn, my boy. Yeah. Right, we're in the safe zone now. We're in the safe zone now. What we just keep doing is we just keep throwing balls and doing Sing. Sing doesn't have the best accuracy, but it's the best I could do with what I had on this file. Like, Yawn would have been ideal, but I just didn't have time. And I thought, you know, it'll be fine. I can just get the Master Ball in a little while anyway, but I couldn't because my freaking SP doesn't work. And something we gotta be aware of as well, Moltres has pressure. Thank you. Before we came into this, I did the PP up on Sing. This guy also has a Leopard Berry, so it just gives us a few more turns to work with. I'm so freaking nervous. The test captures that I've done have been fine. They've been fine, so like it should be alright, but I'm just... Stop telling me to use the Nest Ball! I don't have a Master Ball, it's making me nervous. Oh man. There it is. We did it. Alright. There it is. Look at that, it's so nice. It has to be tendies. It has to be tendies. That has been the theme, like, through this whole stream. I have to call it tendies. I am proud of myself. That is the first time I've ever tried to catch a legendary. This is surreal though, because it's the end of this chapter. It's the end of this chapter in my life. The first shiny hunt I ever did. I want a round of applause in the chat for Big Daddy. Big Daddy like came through for us. Big Daddy carried. We call it the tendies because of Big Daddy. Thank you, Big Daddy. I didn't even check what nature it was. I didn't even check. I was too excited. My nature is usually like timid. This is adamant. Ooh, adamant is... I don't know if that's really good or really bad. I know it's an attacking nature, but I don't know if that's minus or plus attack. Adamant, ouch. Oh yeah, up attack, lowest... Oh, yikes, son. Look, tendies is tough. Tendies is just a physical attacker. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I found the Moltres and I don't know what my purpose is anymore. I don't know. So I finally had the shiny Moltres in my possession. A journey that took me 12 years to complete, but it is now done. If any news sites want to interview me, please form an orderly queue over there. But surely now this must be the end of my childhood quests. There can't be anything else, right? Ah! Hey, thanks for watching. I'm doing something really fun on Twitch right now. I'm hunting for Mirage Island in Sapphire. It's very much not fun and I'm suffering, so please keep me company. Alright, see you there. Bye!